Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday. Since it's Sunday, today we're gonna have, like I said yesterday, more free-flowing video with some of my thoughts, observations, experiences actually so far during my trip here to Moscow. Is it the fourth or the fifth time? I actually will have to go back into memory and count. But anyway, today where I am at the front of, not sure if this is the right name, GES. This is the building, GES 2. It's a museum. I have not been inside, but it's a very modern museum, kind of like a design museum. So you have to book an appointment on the website in order to get in. You cannot just go inside and like, hi, here I am, get me the ticket. But I haven't been inside and I don't feel like I actually want to go inside at this moment. Here is a very cool area which I really wanted to show you, because we've been on that side, guys. You see the statue right next to the statue made of the stones. Behind it you see Peter the Great, so we've been there a few times together. And right behind me is the Balchuk Island. Still Moscow, of course, but is separated from this part of Moscow by the Moscow River, which, by the way, it just reminded me that one of my, well, not really dreams, but one of my goals during this trip is to take the boat and show you Moscow from the boat. But we will be here today, guys, walking a little bit on this side and then maybe crossing the street over there. Lovely day. It's supposed to be raining, but it's not. So what I would like to start this video with today is some details about the airports, operations of the airports in Moscow, and about the safety, considering many attacks of those drones over Moscow region. And then I would like to tell you what I promised to tell you yesterday, which are the facts, some facts about Raiffeisen Bank and how the situation has changed with the foreign currencies in the bank. And also the last part of this video will be something very personal that I have decided to address because I think it's about time. And so those of you who are staying with me all the end to this video, you will hear some very personal, very vulnerable sharing from me that I think might help some people. Well, at least it will help my soul. So guys, what's happening with those airports? You know, when I arrived here, let me just tell you, when I arrived here in, when was it? 3 days ago? My flight was booked to Vnukovo. I supposed to fly to Vnukovo airport. So there are 4 airports, I think there's more than 4, but there are 4 airports in Moscow, sorry, that are international airports. I think there is like 9, whatever is the number. The ones I have personally been to is Vnukovo, Sheremetyevo, and now the latest one which I arrived to was Domodyedovo. There is one more I have on this list, Zhukovsky. So what happens is this, my flight was booked to Vnukovo, but lately more and more flights are being redirected to different airports, especially those 2 airports, Sheremetyevo and Vnukovo, have been going through a lot of threats due to those drones, okay? And because of that, the plane that I was on, we landed in Domodyedovo. I'm sorry if I mispronounced, to all the Russian viewers, I'm trying my best. And it's really a distance from there to come to Moscow. It's about over 50 minutes, 1 hour drive without heavy traffic. So I've experienced this personally, that the flight was actually redirected to a different airport, and this has been going on frequently. I don't know if you remember in my last conversation with Andrei Martyanov, with whom, by the way, I will be reconnecting this month. I hope, well, I'm sure we will. It's just a matter of time when we connect. We were talking about that threat coming from drones. And I just came across an article, guys, today on Polish portal, which says, well, let me just show you this first, because this is quite interesting sculpture, right? Okay, so this portal, onet.pl, you know, very pro-Ukrainian, etc., etc. But it mentioned what's going on with those drones. And it says the 556th day of, this is from Polish portal, of Russian invasion in Ukraine continues. In Moscow, 23 passenger flights have been cancelled and 19 are delayed. Moscow-Kiev station was also evacuated due to the reports of an explosion threat. So I was actually thinking about it that, you know, when I was on the plane, I was just saying, as long as we arrive, as we land, I'm good, because if those flights are cancelled, you know, of course we would land eventually, but many flights are not operating as they used to. So even if you're booking the flight from Vnukovo or Sheremetyevo, you never know if it's gonna go from there or not. You might be in the situation that you have to get to the airport and then they tell you, sorry, but the planes are not coming from here anymore. They're not leaving from here, not departing from here. The departure will be from the airport that is about an hour and a half drive, right? So it might complicate your life. So those of you who are planning to come to Russia, keep it in mind, to Moscow especially, keep it in mind, because that might change a lot for your trip, for your adventure. Just to stay on this article, I just read you briefly this, because this is from yesterday, or actually this morning, very early morning, like 1 a.m. It said the 556th day. And I want to ask you a question here, guys. You know, all this symbology that the dark side is using and all those rituals they have, right? How they are using numerology, everything, you know, including astrology and other aspects. I was thinking, if they will end this war on the 666th day, would you be surprised? Huh? So how about all of us, because I didn't feel like sitting down and counting from February, when it started, was it February 23rd? When the special military operation has started. Can we count together, guys? What day would be 666th day? I know it's a strange, kind of creepy question, but why not? Let's do this and see, because I feel like it's around 11th or 12th of January next year. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I would like to share with you some information about the banks. Actually, there is a very cool place to go to sit, so let me go around here. When I went to Raiffeisen Bank the next day after I arrived to Moscow, I had with me some euros and some US dollars. So I will start again explaining to you how it looks like. My account in Raiffeisen Bank, which I've opened in winter this year, just using my Polish passport and giving the address actually of the hotel. So if you're still asking if a foreigner can open an account, I'm not sure now how this looks. I was able to do it then. I know there are other banks than Raiffeisen that open accounts for foreigners. Anyway, I went there with the cash, right, with some euros and dollars, and I wanted to deposit into my euro account and my dollar account in cash. And then, because the exchange rate in the bank is actually the most attractive in comparison to the exchange offices that you come across throughout the city, That's why I wanted to do it in the bank and then transfer that exchanged money into my ruble account. Okay, so my account is 3 accounts, and you can operate within this. When I did that, I went to the bank. I was told that I no longer can bring cash. It doesn't matter if it's euro or dollar. Other currencies I think are fine, like Chinese or other countries' currencies. But those 2 currencies that I had, I was not able to deposit into my accounts anymore. And I was very surprised, to be honest. I was not expecting that I cannot do it. So I asked the teller, how about transferring money from the outside, from United States or other country, right? Because I transferred from different accounts. And she said that yes, you can still do it. However, she does not recommend me to transfer any dollars from US to the account that I have with US dollars. And the reason for it is because the bank will take the fee of 50%, 50. So I've asked her, I think twice or 3 times, giving her the exact numbers just as an exercise, right? I said, okay, so if I transfer $1,000, the bank will take 500, and she said yes. So I said, okay, so it means if I transfer like $5,000, the bank will take, 2,500, and she said yes. And that is insane, okay? So this is the reality now. If you're transferring from, let's say, US in the dollars, the bank is gonna take half of it. It's not the same with euros. Euros, if I transfer from, let's say, my US account, so I transfer my dollars as euros, there is a fee, but I forgot now, sorry guys, forgot the exact fee, but it's not a really big fee. I think it's like 500 rubles per transaction, something like that. But they are not going to take half of your money from that transfer. So I'm telling you all of this because in February or March, I think it was March, when I was here in Moscow, I was reading an article, I forgot from what newspaper, from what portal it was, and that article was talking about how the White House is after the Raiffeisen Bank here, because that bank, if I remember correctly, made in 2022 about 62 or 68% of the profits for the entire Raiffeisen Bank internationally, if I remember this correctly. You can go back to that video and watch it. I think it was in March. First week of March or something like that. So clearly they are after this bank. They made it really, really hard to operate with those currencies. So what is the solution? What did I do? Well, of course, I found a place. I know where are the places here where you can exchange the money. You go there. I mean, people will help you. You go there. You will exchange it, and then you take this cash and you deposit to the bank, and then you can use your card. And using my card, for example, you're getting the points with every transaction. So you go to eat, you take a taxi, Yandex, whatever it is, right? And you're getting points. So you're like getting some money back from your spending. And that is, it's good because when you use cash, I normally use cash. However, if you have some higher spending, or you spend more, you want to get some money back. So then at the end of the month, the bank gives you this money. But that's how the situation looks like right now. And I am having this very strong feeling that ultimately they might close this bank or transition it into something else. And then you really don't know how, as a foreigner, your foreign account will be respected, right? When I asked about it in March, after reading that article about the White House being after investigating Raiffeisen Bank, The teller told me that I don't have to worry about it because the clients are protected, and in the worst case scenario, it's just going to change. The bank is going to change the name, and that's about it, because the rest will remain the same. But you really don't know then how the international transfers will be going. So I see this not being, of course, at all any expert, just observing the situation, that they are completely going to, well, not maybe completely, but to a larger extent separate the East and the West, and you will have to, those of you who have some businesses, you will have like completely different accounts and reality in the East, and then trying to find a way to collaborate with the West accounts. I don't know how this is going to go in the future. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell you this. Now the last topic that I have for you today, it's a very personal topic, because I decided to address it, and I think I'm strong enough to talk about stuff like this. Several months ago, or maybe a year ago, I probably wouldn't, but now I am. You see behind me those white trees? Biała brzoza, we say in Polish. I've showed you this from the app right there. One video when I was talking about putting words about Poland, and will Poland listen? You remember? I hope you remember. We walked all the way from the Church of Christ the Savior. I want to say something that is very personal, is completely not related to any politics or any topics that I normally address on my channel, but it's important to mention. What is this? Yesterday there were many comments that I've deleted, actually, so you don't even know how many, that were once again addressing the way I look, addressing my face, addressing certain things about my face, okay? For example, how old it looks, how I have these baggy things under my eyes, which I do, and I'm very aware of it. And I want to come here very open to you and very authentic and very vulnerable, if this is the right pronunciation of this word. That actually means a lot to me. To tell you that every time I see people commenting someone else's looks, but from my experience, it touches certain part of you, but at the same time it serves enormous purpose. I am very, very aware of my imperfections, but at the same time, seeing those and hearing those comments, it really helps me to work on self-love more and accepting myself just the way I am. I have been born with the face that I have. I have been born with imperfect skin under my eyes, or how my eyes look, and depending on the light, sometimes you can see it more, sometimes you see it less. However, I look at myself from a very different perception. I look at myself as a whole being and what kind of person I want to be. I take care of myself. I do my best to love myself through the way how I carry myself, how I dress. It's also respectful to other people, how I approach them, the way I am. But I will not allow people to comment things like this. And this is not because I am insecure and I feel like, oh my God, they just saw like how bad my eyes look, and that they are, they look like they're always tired, which I'm not tired. Of course, sometimes I'm tired. But at this moment when I'm saying this to you guys, it's completely not related to any politics, I know, and many of you will be like unsubscribing, like I say it often, but some of you will hear it, and I just want you to know that no matter how you look, no matter what you wear, right? Love yourself and don't give a shit what other people think of you. The most important thing is you have to accept yourself. If there are things in you that you want to change, then find a way to change it. If one day I decide to have a crazy plastic surgery and remove those bags under my eyes, maybe I will do it, maybe I won't. But I am absolutely fine to live my life with them and look the way I look. So all of those of you who are watching this and who left those comments that will never see my platform, you know, maybe it's time to look into the mirror and ask yourself why you are so triggered by that. Maybe there is some unresolved wound from the childhood and your inner child needs some major healing, because life is a journey and I am on this journey as well, and I have many things I've healed, a lot, but I still have things that I will be healing, and you are part of my healing process. So thank you for showing me that I am at this stage, at this moment, when I don't care anymore what you think about my looks, what you think about my face, because I accept myself just the way I am. And to those of you who needed to hear it today, who've been told that you are not beautiful enough, you have something wrong with your face, with your body, with whatever it is, from me, please don't give a shit. And I know I said the way how not the lady should say, but this is really straight to the point. Don't give a shit. Wounded people, hurt people, people who've been hurt other people. That's the way it is. So guys, like I said, free flow completely Sunday. I hope you're having a nice weekend. I will see you tomorrow in another video. Many of you have been requesting the interviews to have some live streams. I will be having live streams and I'm reaching out to some new guests. So everything at the right time. Thank you for watching. You have all the links to my locals community. what is my name? Locals. ANIAK 44.locals.com. My Instagram is mainly for travels and my looks. And what else? Buy me a coffee for my trip to China and follow me on Rumble if you feel like, and also join my mailing list. That's it for today. Lots of love, everyone, and remember, we are the leading edge in saving the humanity. Bye, everyone.